Hey ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Today we're going to play a game of What's in the Box. Alright, so recently I just ordered some stuff for my next build, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to crack this bad boy open and see what's inside. Alright, let's see what we got here. Did halfway decent job packaging it. Now, let's see what we got. Alright, let's see here. Oh! Check these out. Powerdyne Arius platinum plates. Nice packaging. They got this sleeve here. You take that off, and then it's like a gatefold. I've never seen another set of plates packaged like it. Wow! Look at this. An instruction. You get your instruction booklet or slip with it, and then of course right here you have like a cushion hardness chart. What else do we got here? Sounds like mounting hardware. Let's check it out. And it is. It's Powerdyne mounting hardware. One thing that makes it a little bit different than the Sure Grip mounting hardware or anything else, I don't know if you can see this, but this square head right here, that square drive, as opposed to a slotted screw that you just put like a flathead screwdriver in. You have to have a square drive for that. So, luckily I have a set. Most people don't. But when you're putting them in, you really don't need that square drive screwdriver. You really don't need that for these because it's got the tooth on the bottom, or the two teeth on the bottom, that'll sink into the boot as you tighten it. And check this out. Not bad. Size 9 because my foot shrank. So now even my pro lines are a little bit too big for me because I lost a ton of weight. I lost like, I lost about 30 pounds since this whole coronavirus thing. Actually, since about January, I lost about 30 pounds. It fluctuated, but finally I'm down about 30, which is quite nice. The fit and finish of this is really good. The machine work is actually so nice on this that there are no machine marks at all, and I'm sure this satin glass beaded finish that's on there would otherwise hide that, but there's no marks or anything left from the CNC milling process at all. None. Really cool. The improvement on these over the red is that the Arius reds were cut up to about right here, and subsequently they would crack in here from stress on the toe stop boss. So what they did is they filled that whole area in and leveled that out to right in here, and that extra bit of material keeps them from snapping and cracking, which happened a lot. The other noticeable difference is now these butterfly cushions are split. This is actually two separate ones. So you can mix and match different hardnesses on each one. You could have a teal, two teals on your front, or a teal and a white on the front, you know, while you're running two whites in the back, you know, whatever you like. And it comes with plenty of extra cushions as well. Let me move this out of the way here. But you also got a set right in here, a set here, well I should say half a set here, half a set here, half a set here, and then the other halves of the sets are in here. And this is more of a display thing to let you know what they're providing you with. Now, I know on these ones, I don't know if it changes by size, but they'll come with the yellow green, as they call it, the 86A yellow green on these, at least in the size 9. And I believe the size 10 as well. And They also don't include every size of cushions uh, that they make for them. They actually make 9 hardnesses. What they include is 4 different hardnesses. They have the white, the red, the aqua, and the yellow green, as they call it. Now this is a 6000 series aluminum, and one of the biggest tangible benefits about this plate is the fact that there is no suspension whatsoever. Absolutely none. In fact, all your weight is being carried by these little guys right here. They call this an axis pin. And it's very simple. It just screws into the plate through here, and the whole truck assembly rotates on that. So it's not like anything else on the market. The only thing the cushions do is tune your steering. That's it. That's all they do. They just adjust your resistance, your tension, if you will, for steering. They don't bear any load on them whatsoever like a traditional plate with a kingpin. However, because of the unique design of these butterfly cushions, as they call them, you need to inspect these every 6 to 9 months or so, depending on the frequency of skating and the type of skating that you're doing, because they are prone to wearing out within 6 to 9 months. Some skaters have actually gotten away with using them for a year or even 2 years, but it really depends on the type and the frequency and the intensity that you skate on these, and you work them back and forth. Doing a lot of jumps and everything else won't really do anything to these cushions. It's just the steering that wears them out, because again, these butterfly cushions don't bear any of your weight whatsoever. There is no suspension on an Arius plate. There's one other aspect I want to remind you of when you're looking at a pair of these things, and that is to really pay close attention to the sizing charts. I actually didn't really know how to read it because there was a lot of fractional inch sizes in there, like 10 and 17/20ths and things like that, and just very odd fractions. So if you do decide to buy a set, first thing is figure out how long your foot is, and second off, find out exactly how long each one of those plate lengths is in some relatively common fractional sizes, because if the plate's longer than your foot, you're gonna probably have a little bit of a harder time controlling it. And not only that, but if I'm paying for a whole plate, you best believe I'm gonna try to use the whole thing. So if I can't use the whole thing, I'm not gonna buy it at all. And that goes for any plate, by the way. If that plate's longer than your foot, it's not a good fit for you. It doesn't matter how much it costs, it's still gonna hold you back. But I digress. Let's keep going on these things. They come with this, it's called the Platinum, and they come with this really cool, almost like bronze, almost rose gold colored finish. But I'm pretty sure these aren't gonna stay this color for very long, because I'm actually going to take these and have one of my friends who owns a shop that does a lot of metal finishing take these and basically strip them and do them in a different color. But that's just me, because I'm just extra. To be a little bit more transparent with you, I'm probably going to wait quite some time, maybe even out to about 3 months, before I get to really test these, because I am waiting on a custom boot to get done to put these on. That way I can do a test on both these and that product. Now, don't get disappointed, because knowing just as well as I do, you know that I will spend hundreds just to find the pitfalls and bonuses of every piece of equipment you could possibly think about buying before you plunk down your money. And honestly, there's a huge shortage of that in this industry, because a lot of people are out there who are just trying to sell you something. Meanwhile, I'm spending my own money just to test all this stuff out. I've been doing this stuff for over 30 years. I was born into it. My family were rink owners. I don't make a single penny off of whatever you buy. So if I'm telling you the pros and cons, expect a completely unbiased list of them. Another thing that makes these things so unique is the fact that they are a 45-degree angle. And of course, these are a 45-degree angle as well. However, these are a true 45-degree. And that's because this guy right here, when it swings, that swings exactly 45 degrees. Meaning, if you look at it from the top, when you lean this way, we'll say we're looking at it from the top of the plate. When you lean this way, these two come even closer together, which means it turns even tighter than, say, a 5-degree like this guy right here. Another thing about these axis pins is that periodically you need to check to make sure these things are tight, because there have been reports where people didn't quite tighten them down enough, or enough vibration over a certain amount of time had actually caused them to rattle loose and back out while people are skating. So every once in a while, maybe once a week or once a month, stick an Allen wrench in there and check these things to make sure that they haven't backed out any. It's a truly revolutionary design, but it is not the first design like this. In fact, if you Google it, you can look for something called the MicroStar 2500 plate or 2600 plate, and that came out in the 60s or 70s. And it was a very similar layout to this, where there was an axis pin and everything else, and it was this huge bulky thing. And there's actually a skater in my area that has one of these, and then it actually used a cushion on each side of the plate here and here in order to stabilize it side to side. So this isn't a completely new design. Revolutionary possibly, yeah. Brand new, no, not at all. But it's a very aesthetically pleasing layout, and the designer of this plate was a gentleman named Dan Miller, who had sold this to Powerdyne, supposedly. And it was also supposedly purported that these would be it was suggested that they would make these things in a 7000 series aluminum, and I think for cost cutting purposes they might have said no, but either way, at the end of the day, they made it in 6000 series aluminum instead of 7000. The upside to that is 7000 can have a propensity to crack in certain areas under stress and things like that. 6000 doesn't quite do that so much. This is heat treated as well, supposedly. I used to do heat treating professionally. I used to run a heat treating department in a drop forge over a decade ago, so I'm very familiar with the process and what goes into it. So that's comforting to know, because that increases rigidity, and that's nice. That's good. It does not seem to be a flexible plate. I've actually grabbed up several other aluminum plates and was able to twist them and turn them and stuff, but this has more of an I-beam type of construction. If you look down it, and that actually reduces torsional load from an engineering standpoint, you can tell. So this is quite nice. This is TJ Dubé with Jam Physics. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing video and what little bit of information I could give to you on these. Stay tuned, because here in a couple of months, we're going to go ahead and mount these bad boys up to a set of boots, and they're going to get their first shakedown in actual jam skating. Happy skating! This thing is ridiculously light. I can't get over that. It weighs nothing.